Be sure to check out my Patreon for weekly exclusive interviews, extra content on Veve and Ecomi, and building generational wealth, as well as money management tips from experienced whales. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another Veve and Ecomi video. In this video, we're going to be focusing more so on the Ecomi token, some of my thoughts, some of my strategies, what I'm planning on doing where it comes to the Ecomi token. Because people have been asking me a little bit more about the Ecomi token. Obviously, it's been pumping. People have been happy that it's been going up a little bit. In my opinion, it's not going to continue. I mean, it's going to go up for the moment, but we actually just saw some great news from Reese. Well, I don't know if it's not great, but it's great to me. Honestly, it's great to me because they're thinking exactly how I thought they were thinking, and it's like, okay, if why would we release the Ecomi token on exchanges right now when the market is the way it is? Like, we really want, when we want people to invest in the Ecomi token, we don't want them to get in and then see it crash because the state of the world is so horrible. Because then, like, people are going to get into the Ecomi token because it's going to be easier to get into the Ecomi token. It's going to go down and crash, and they're going to be like, man, I knew I shouldn't have invested in this one, and then they're not going to come back. Like, it's like, we need to be dropped on exchanges at the peak of a bull run where people are excited to just blow money and take on different opportunities and things like that. We need Bitcoin to be hitting highs, Ethereum's to be hitting highs, or at least, you know, some stability, like at the very least, some stability. And honestly, Veve can really create its own stability. Like Veve, the Veveverse, all of the stuff that they have going on is able to create their own stability because the token is designed in a way where it will move less with the market once it's actually tied to Veve. But we don't have these tie-ins. We don't have a bull run. We don't really have anything going for the token. So it's not the best time to be going to, you know, for the token, for them to be putting it on exchanges and things like that. So in terms of my strategy, I definitely believe that it's going down. It's going down some more. Like, if you don't know, and it's funny, people have been asking me, oh, so you believe in technical analysis now? You like technical analysis now? What I like is facts. You know, that's what I like. I always go off facts, even if people don't see it when I say it. Like, the stuff that I say, like the stuff that I see, and all my predictions, all the stuff that people say, oh, you're guessing. I mean, I've been guessing for, like, bro, my luck in life has been terrible, but my luck in this community, let people tell it, like, I'm a god with my luck in this community. My luck in life has been nothing like this. Like, everything that I say is coming true. So it's like, I mean, if that's if that's luck, like, the thing is, I got a work ethic. I take the time to understand things, and then I'm not biased. I don't have any preconceived thoughts going into it. I'm really a student. I go into things looking to learn as much as I can. I had some stronger opinions about technical analysis when I first came in, but that was because I was not as, you know, open to learning different things and seeing different perspectives. And I can admit that, like, that's where I've grown a lot in that sense. And then also, when you spend the time talking to someone and you see them making people's yearly salaries within minutes while y'all having a casual conversation, and you're literally just talking about random stuff, and they're sitting there making someone's salary, right? And, like, I mean, you tend to listen. Like, when you know someone has a history of, oh, they bought into Ecomi here, they sold at the top, literally. They knew it was about to go down, they sold at the top. Like, when you see people who has been right ever since you've known them, you tend to take what they say seriously. Like, you tend to learn from them. And then when you talk to them and they're breaking things down to you and they're explaining how people think, how the market works, why things are doing what they're doing, and then it all makes sense, it's very logical. Like, because you don't have to agree on everything. Like technical analysis and trading and things like that, you don't have to have a trader's perspective to understand how traders think and understand that perspective. But honestly, the more you hear about it, the more sense that it makes. But I mean, an investor, you can still use traders' knowledge to invest properly, because even if you're an investor, dollar cost average is something that people say because they're not educated enough to know when they should actually be starting to deploy their money and how to deploy their money. Dollar cost average, and I don't mean it, I mean, like, the way that it's used, not dollar cost averaging as in the action of doing it, but dollar cost averaging as how people use it. So if I just put a money in every single week, I'm going to catch it at all the prices, and I'm going to get in at the best average. I mean, that sounds ridiculous. Like, you're going to run out of funds eventually. If you know how to read a chart, at least, and you can see, okay, we're right here. this is a sign that the market is going to go down, you can start dollar cost averaging lower. You're like, okay, I know for sure the price is going to go down to this point. I'm gonna start dollar cost averaging once we get here, because I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but I know it's going to be within this area. Then you just start dollar cost averaging there, as opposed to dollar cost averaging all the way down. Imagine if you kept dollar cost averaging from Omi token ever since we hit a penny. Like imagine dollar cost average. You dollar cost average like how much, like 80+% loss. Like, I mean, and you could have just saved, you could have just not dollar cost average there and just wait until we fell down to these levels. It's like that's what technical analysis has shown me. Like, some people actually knew exactly the levels that we were falling to and the levels that we could go to. And that's the thing. Being well researched does give you an advantage. And I mean, I know that. I know that very well, because that's what's giving me my advantage with all the things that I do within this community. It's just my perspective and outlook on research. So in terms of how I'm approaching the Omi token, I'm not buying the Omi token until it reaches the levels where I like, you didn't see the video yesterday with God's entry. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna attempt to buy it until it goes down, because I know it's not going to keep going up. Like, let's be honest. What reason does the Omi token have to go up? We still have no utility. We still have no exchanges. We still, like, what do we actually have? What has changed about the Omi token? Like, we can't use it for anything. I mean, there's staking now, but it's only in Europe. It's like, what has actually changed? Why is the Omi token pumping right now? Why is it valuable? I mean, nothing has really changed. And also, Ethereum is looking pretty bad right now. Ethereum is like, we could see a sub $1,000 Ethereum, which would literally be terrible. Like, that would literally, like, all altcoins would be looking pretty bad at that point. Bitcoin could continue to go down, and every single sign is pointing to a bearish scenario. Every single sign looks really, really bad. So this pump right now, like that's happening. Yeah, I mean, just like there's so little money in Omi right now. Any half decent move, and anybody with a little bit of money could really move the price of the Omi token. So yeah, like, I know you FOMO in when you see stuff like this, and you see, oh, I'm gonna miss the boat. But keep in mind, you have to just look at it from the perspective of, there's nothing that's changed. There's still nothing that's, like, you can't even use the freaking token. So yeah, it's somebody can put in a decent amount of money, which can rise the token. But I mean, it doesn't mean that we're about to get ready for blast off. It's going to take some time for the token to start moving, and actually start moving in a legitimate way. So that being said, that's why I'm taking my time. I mean, from what I'm hearing, we're gonna have years before the token starts to pump up substantially. Like, we're gonna be able to accumulate. We're gonna be able to accumulate at the lows for months. Like, for months. Like, we're gonna have months to accumulate at the lows, and we haven't even hit those lows yet. So yeah, that's what's really important to that's why I feel like it's important who you talk to in the community as well. A lot of people like to try to discredit, spin their own narratives and things like that. And the thing is, when you tell somebody a fact that they don't want to hear, or you tell somebody a fact they don't want to hear, they'll accuse you of twisting your own narratives. But they're really the ones who's twisting their narratives, because you don't want to, like, you want to point out how what they're saying is wrong, and they want to point out how it has to be right, because that's what's best for their investments. It's like, it's weird. So it's a very, very weird perspective. So yeah, that being said, man, that's why I'm holding off. Like, I still have a crazy amount of faith in the Omi token. I have faith that Veve is still going to be one of the biggest brands in the world. Now, when I say the Omi token is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar token, or Veve is going to be a multi-trillion-dollar company, what I mean as a whole is Ecomi. I believe Ecomi has the ability to make this token very, very profitable. I think Veve is going to be among the biggest businesses. I think that the Veveverse, all of this, keep in mind, Ecomi owns all of this. Veve, the Veveverse, their wallet, like, Ecomi makes products, and I believe that moving forward, like, regardless of what they do, whether they acquire studios, acquire certain things, have different other ventures that make sense with what they have going on, I believe that they're going to try to include the Omi token in what they're doing moving forward. I believe that was the whole intent behind the token to begin with. So even though it's taking time to get this set up properly, they have big goals. It's not going to be able to, they can't just put it up there like a like a one of these random shit coins where it was never actually intended for anything. It just started to blow up, and they're like, "Yo, this is printing cash. Let me just go ahead and add some random utility." No, it's always been a goal behind the Omi token. It's always been a plan. There's always been a reason for to have the Omi token and for this Omi token to be successful. There's been a big plan from the beginning. So yeah, taking that into consideration, I believe that this is a team capable of doing that. Look at all the businesses David Yu is involved in. Look at all the businesses Alfred Kahn is involved in. And then Veve can literally touch on different industries. Like they're trying to touch on the biggest industries in the world, like the metaverse. And Veve, the Omi token can be used in the metaverse. It's like it's a metaverse token, then NFTs as well. It's like you'll be able to use it for anything. And then they're already having these mini games out here using the token as well. And what's crazy is they're saying that this is why Reese also said this is why they're releasing those games and things like that, because certain things of certain caliber, it's just not the time to release it right now. It's really not the time to release it. So yeah, like I like that perspective. I like the fact that they're taking the time to show that they're thoughtful and thinking through what they're doing, as opposed to just doing something because the community wants it right now. I think that more people in the community need to take the time to understand the vision and then give advice that aligns with that vision. A lot of the advice that's getting given, it does not align with the actual vision of Veve. Like people say, "Oh, put us on exchanges right now. I want the token to move," but not realizing that that's going to be counterproductive to your token, because the second that we get listed on Coinbase, we have this momentary pump, and because there's a recession, there's all this stuff going on, Ethereum's going to dump and all type, well, could potentially dump. The second all this happens, the Omi token goes down, and then what's the new thing? The FUD. Oh, even Coinbase can't save the Omi token. It went down with a Coinbase release. This is the worst token ever. It's a shit coin. Like that is exactly what people are going to start saying. And it's because of factors that have absolutely nothing to do with the Omi token itself, but it's just the entire state of the market. So why release on an exchange when the market is in a state like this, when it's just going to cause more FUD in the long run and basically deter people from wanting to get into the project and hold their tokens and stuff. Like it's just not a great time to be listed on exchanges. But people don't take the time to understand this. All people want to see is the values of their token going up, not realizing that yeah, it can go up for a moment, but that doesn't mean it's going to stay up long term. Do you want a momentary pump that's not even going to get us back to a penny, or do you want to stay down for a little bit? Then by the next bull run, we may be able to see a pump that could literally get us over all-time highs and keep us up there. It's like what you actually want for the token overall and want for it short term may not be the same things. Like it's like you just want to feel good right now, but feeling good right now isn't worth what could come with that longer term. It's better that they make the right moves instead of making the moves that'll make you happy for the moment. And that's what they're doing. That's why I'm so bullish on this company, and that's why I'll remain bullish on this company. So yeah, I try to absorb all information. I try to think about everything. I try to think about everything from every perspective. That's the thing. Like even when I'm arguing with people on Twitter, I'm hearing the arguments and things like that, and it's just I'm absorbing everything. Usually, what I say is not being listened to or heard, and that's why people don't really see eye to eye with most of the things that I say. But that's why I'm also rarely wrong, because I really am not biased whatsoever when it comes down to it. I'm listening to what you're saying. If it makes sense to me, I get it. But yeah, if it doesn't, I mean, I'm just gonna point out that don't even really make sense for real. But I mean, time will tell. Time will continue to tell. I mean, so far, regardless of how people feel, like I mean, I've been pretty sharp when it comes down to this project, and I don't see that changing, because what's crazy is like the most emotional people will call you the most emotional investor. I'm like, I have no emotions toward the investment. I mean, I love the investment. I believe in the investment, but I mainly believe in the investment because I see all the things that I'm seeing. Like the second that I start, like you all know when they said that they were doing a metaverse I thought the metaverse was going to be trash. Like after an interview with Trevor, that's when I like, okay, if the metaverse is going to be trash, this will never be the token that I think is going to be. So that's why, and then Dan had to come out and clear that up that, oh no, this is still the plan. We're doing Ready Player One. That's the goal. Like, that had to be cleared up. Now, how they're ever going to be able to accomplish that, I don't know. But as long as that's their goal, I'm pretty sure they have some connections that can figure out how to do that. I believe in this company's ability to make deals and find the right people for the job and to get it done. So yeah, that being said, as long as that's what you're shooting for, I'm happy with that. So yeah, like I said, I'll be bullish as long as there's a reason to be, but I'm not going to be optimistic for no reason or anything like that. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Just wanted to make this video to let you all know some of my strategies, my thought process, and how I'm going about the Omi token. Right now, I'm waiting for the price ranges in my last video. So be sure to check out the video that I did with Jay, God's Entry. And yeah, be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And I will catch you all on the next one. Peace out, y'all.